Welcome, guys. Okay, let me know if this mic is okay. Unfortunately, my other mic isn't working today, but come on in here. Come on in. I have to give y'all the update and the tea. Come on, y'all. Come on. Yes, I know you don't see face today, but there's an explanation. There's an explanation. So come on in. Today I listen. I was on vacation, sabbatical, all of the things. But when that amended complaint came out with them suing Jay-Z, I said, "Oh no, we got to talk." So I'm on my medication. I missed you guys too. I am on my medicine, but we're gonna have a good old time hopping into this, you guys. So just to give you backstory, so I have been out of the country. Shoot, child, I've been shaking something for a chic. I've been out of the country since the 26th, November 26th. And if you recall, I'm gonna play this little clip for you because I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm gonna play this little clip. Here we go. Let's see.
We're gonna do a dating show with Simone. Yeah. She has agreed. She doesn't know that she already signed the contract. Mm-hmm. It was a verbal agreement, and we'll do that in about a month before she goes to Dubai. We'll do that in about a month.
Oh yeah, because baby, when I go to Dubai, I turn on that Bumble, I turn on that Hinge, baby. I'll be out there doing 2 a days, 2 a days, honey.
Don't bring sand to the beach.
Lunch, dinner.
You're getting ready for the NFL season. What
pretty much. Oh yeah, then I shoot myself up real quick with that Zepic. I be looking so good, baby. Don't let me hit a turkey and get 2 dimples and a new nose. It's over for you hoes.
Now keep in mind, these are trusted lawyers.
Yes. So basically, guys, that's what happened. So I'm over here in Turkey getting a new nose, y'all. So I'm over here having a good old time, honey. I done saved up my coins. I done hit my goals, settled my cases. And I thought to myself, you know what? What is the point? What is the point of growing up, being in the National Junior Honor Society, all them years I was growing up, then being in the National Honor Society, being a child, and, going to the Scholastic Book Fair, reading all them books and learning all that stuff. If you cannot grow up and buy whatever the hell nose you wake up and decide you want one morning, like Kylie Jenner. So I woke up one day and I said, you know what? I want a new nose. I'm going to go to Turkey and get one. So that's what I'm doing. I'm over here. So I will do a reveal of my nose. It's going to be about 2 weeks. I'm a little swollen. Right now I look like a cat because I'm a little swole. Look like a cat. But I will be here. So I just want you to know. So the reason you're not seeing my face right now is it's all taped up. So you can't really see it. But I love y'all and thank you for sticking with me. So I'm going to pull this down. But yeah, and if there's something that y'all want, go buy it. You did good. Okay. You was kind. You was smart. You was special. You was loyal. So what time is it there? It is 11:05 p.m. here. Yes. So I am over here. You looking like a cat. I got, had a little tuck, a little lift. And we're gonna see the nose. When I first saw it, it was cute. It looked like a cute little black girl nose. Like cute. Thank you. Oh, why Turkey? Because Turkey is good at ethnic noses. They actually call it ethnic rhinoplasty. I didn't want to look like Michael Jackson. I wanted to look like a black girl with just more balance to what I had going on. And, life wasn't very kind to me in 2022 and 2023. It looked like it all over my face. So I wanted to get a little something that, just smoothed me out and made me not look like what I've been through. So there we go. I did what I want. But you guys, we have to talk about this new Jay-Z, Tony Buzbee lawsuit. Because there has just been so much going on. So let's just bring it on down. And we're going to deal with the real tea that's involved in this. Here we go. There's 2 more cases. Here we go. I'll start with the Jane Doe case. And this is because, honey, you asking why you can't see me now. You're going to have to roll it back to the beginning of the video. You can't see me because I'm over here in Turkey. I just bought a new nose and I'm healing. Right now, I'm all swollen and I look like a cat. So until my swelling goes down and I'm a little more healed, we're going to do it without the face. That's all. Love you. Thank you for tuning in. Okay. Yeah, I got bandages all over. So to start off, I've been listening to different stories and hearing different clips, and there's so much misinformation about what's going on. So we want to make sure that we got the facts, and then feel free to drop your questions in here about the facts. Now, about what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago? Let me share this one. We covered this story when it was, at the time, it was just a story. Here we go. It was just a story about we were wondering who is the person that was filing this extortion suit at the time against Tony Buzbee. Because remember, there was that extortion suit. Let's stop this one. Hold on, we want to share it. And I'll put that clip back up. Here we go. So, oh, no, here we go. There we go. And here's a clip where we were talking about the lawsuit and we were guessing about who we thought it was. Oh, my signal sucks over here. Let's see if it'll play. If it won't,
back sue you. And legally, this claim falls under the California extortion statutes. In California, extortion is defined as using threats to compel someone to act or pay money. Using threats, if you don't do this, you're going to have to pay me some money. Now, that's not the same as saying, if you don't settle with me, look, similarly, but if it's a, all right, so let's jump into who we think it is. So 2 of the claims out there have been Jay-Z and Kevin Hart. Jay-Z and Kevin Hart. I mean, it's just said, Cassandra D says she thinks it's Kevin Hart. I want to see who y'all think. Oh, Nazra said Ashton Kutcher. I like that one. I'm leaning Kevin Hart. I'm leaving Kevin Hart because Kevin Hart likes to file extortion lawsuits. Let's not forget, Kevin Hart filed in claim that a woman he was cheating with tried to extort him. He wrapped up his buddy into that lawsuit. Kevin Hart is not afraid of that. And hold on, let me see. Yeah, so I'm looking at the different law firm. Also, though, the second allegation is that it could be Jay-Z. Now, y'all remember when Jaguar Wright went on the Piers Morgan show and was making those allegations about Jay-Z. Jay-Z's lawyer quickly picked up the phone and called over to the Piers Morgan show and said, take that ish off the air. His lawyers picked up the phone.
There we go. So we had that guess. We had the guess that it was likely Jay-Z. We were right. And I think we have now seen that Jay-Z's strategy is he uses his lawyers to get ahead of the mess. So I want to hear in the chat, do you think he's guilty? So let's break down what it is that Miss Jane Doe is accusing him of. Now, Jane Doe claims at the time she was 13 years old. And the gist of the allegations, because we also went over this in the prior lawsuit, I'm not going to read it page for page over here. We're going to get into the facts because I want to be able to get into the tea. And we want to follow this because the gist of this, y'all, is I anticipate this lawsuit, Jay-Z being brought into this mess, specifically Jay-Z versus attorney Tony Buzbee, is going to be a legal Super Bowl. Jay-Z is going to try and bankrupt this man, which is going to be very hard because Tony Buzbee owns a plane, if I'm correct, either has a jet or a jet share. He's very, very wealthy. But Jay-Z is not going to let this die because at this point, he has been accused of the R word, of doing this to a 13-year-old, and he has a daughter that's that age. And a portion of Jay-Z's statement that Jay-Z made that's of issue to him is he has to now explain this to his child. So here we go. So to start off, make it a bit bigger, to get into the facts. And again, I'm not going to read every page, but the gist of it is this young girl was 13 years old. For some reason, she currently resides in Alabama and she is proceeding as a Jane Doe. Now, the first issue is Jay-Z's attorneys want her identity to be revealed. They feel that she should not be able to proceed as a Jane Doe. Now, interestingly, I want to clarify, at this point, Jay-Z himself doesn't know who the accuser is. serious business. Now, it's one thing if you're allowed to proceed in a way where your identity, is veiled to the media. But at this current juncture, Jay-Z's own attorneys don't know who they're fighting against. Of course, that makes it an uphill battle for defendants, because one of the things that you need to do is establish credibility or that someone is not credible. Well, it's a lot easier to do that if you know who they are. You can run a background check. You can send private investigators to, interview their high school boyfriend, their middle school boyfriend, find out if they've ever been to rehab. All of those things are difficult to do. So currently pending is a motion that was filed tonight by Jay-Z's lawyers saying, reveal her identity. There's a strong chance that that motion could be granted. It's unclear. But what's weighing in favor of the young lady, of the woman, and she's not a young lady anymore because she was 13 in 2004. So 20 years ago. So she's 33. But what's weighing in her favor is that she was a child when it happened. However, the court, this same judge, has already ruled with respect to other of Buzbee's clients who initially filed anonymously, and then the judge said, no, they cannot proceed anonymously. The judge said, just because you're a victim of assault doesn't mean you get to be anonymous. And that's the law. That is true. Otherwise, every person that was ever accused of that in civil court could be anonymous. Now, I want to clarify this. In criminal court, assault victims are always listed like with initials and pseudonyms, but that's because it's a crime and things like that. So I want to give that distinction. But civil is different because in civil, this is about monetary relief, and you should have the ability to investigate, your opponent. Also in criminal, even though they use the initials, you still know who the victim is and you get to research the victim. Here, the young girl was 13 years old. She currently lives in Alabama. And she was claiming that at 13 years old, we're going to pop over to the section. She wanted to go to the VMA Awards. And this was actually 2000 when this happened. She was 13 years old. She had a friend drop her off in New York City at Radio City Music Hall so that she could try to get into the VMAs. That was one of her bucket list items to do by herself. She had a friend drop her off. It doesn't say the friend is with her, but a friend dropped her off. She then gets to the venue. There's large crowds. So she's looking around and she starts talking to people, and she ends up talking to a limo driver. One of the limo drivers that she spoke to claimed to work for Diddy and claimed that Diddy liked younger girls and that she would fit what Diddy was looking for. The driver then said that he had to drive Combs and some of Combs's friends to an after party first, but that he'd come back and get her. The little girl then returned to the same spot, waited there for the driver, and the driver brought her. FYI, if this happened, that's called trafficking. This is trafficking. It does not matter that they stayed in the same city. This would constitute trafficking of a minor. It then says that after approximately 20 minutes, plaintiff arrived, got in the car, and arrived at what was a large white residence. Now, I want to give you some of the description that she gave, because what I'm seeing in the comments is I'm noticing some people are like, oh, this had to have happened because of how descriptive some of these victims are. So this is what is listed. It says, once inside, two men asked the plaintiff to sign a document, which plaintiff did not read, but which she now believes to have been a non-disclosure agreement. She was told that she could not discuss what happened at the party. She gave the men her name and signed the form, but did not receive a copy. It said inside the building, plaintiff recognized many celebs and entered what appeared to be a large living room or foyer containing a large crowd. Plaintiff attempted to mingle in the crowd and talk to several celebs that she recognized and whom she had wanted to see at the VMAs. Wait staff circulated through the room carrying trays of drinks and loud music. The plaintiff observed widespread drug use, including marijuana and cocaine. After attempting to talk to numerous celebs, the plaintiff accepted a drink from one of the waitresses circulating throughout the crowd, and the drink was a reddish yellow color that tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. After drinking just a portion of the drink, plaintiff began to feel woozy, lightheaded, making her feel like she needed to lie down. A photograph of an actual exemplary container used by Combs and or his agents or employees to insert GHB into drinks is seen below. All right, let me stop y'all right there. I don't like how Mr. Buzbee does this in these petitions. This makes it look like these things are from this case. They are not. They are not. We don't know what case that's from. But that's an example of how a lot of times these celebrity lawyers will draft these petitions to look enticing to the media, but are not factual. So these are not from this case. It could have been from the district attorney's, from the government's federal cases against him or one of the others, but it is not from this case. Susie, I'm still wondering where her parents are. Oh, we're going to get to her daddy. Her daddy's going to be in this in just a moment. All right. So, and then it says, looking for a place to rest, the plaintiff walked down what appeared to be a hallway containing several rooms off of it. At 13, I can't imagine at 13 going to a grown-up party by myself. I can't. I was too scary. Containing several rooms of it. She entered what appeared to be an empty bedroom so she could lie down for a moment. I definitely would be too scared to go into somebody's bedroom, but I'm also Black. And as a result, my mom taught me, you go into people's rooms, and when you go visit somebody, you don't go upstairs without permission. And you sure as heck don't go in nobody's room without permission. I don't know what I thought of the boogeyman would jump out or whatever, but I would have been terrified to go into a bedroom and just lay down like Goldilocks in looking for one of the three bears. It says she did not lock the door. This room contained only a large bed with no furniture of any other kind, television or other furnishings. Soon after, Combs entered the room along with defendant Carter and a female celeb. The female celeb, y'all, allegedly is supposed to be J-Lo. Allegedly. And important to note, it is believed that they've also hit up this female celebrity to shake her down for money too. The question is, do y'all feel like this is a monetary shakedown, or do you feel like this really happened? Put shakedown in the comment if you think it's a shakedown, or true if you think this may have happened in some capacity. It doesn't have to be exactly, verbatim word for word. Okay, here we go. It says, soon after he entered the room, yes, Combs aggressively approached the plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing her to fall. Plaintiff got up, stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, he began removing her clothes as she grew more disoriented. Plaintiff was held down by Carter as he hurt her in her private, while Combs and Celebrity B watched. Again, Celebrity B allegedly is J-Lo. After Carter finished, he stepped back toward the wall. Combs then stepped forward and vaginally hurt her while Carter and the Celebrity watched. Combs then knocked the plaintiff down and attempted to force the plaintiff to perform oral. She fought back, standing up quickly and punching out at the same time, hitting Combs in the neck. Taken aback, Combs stopped his attempt. When Combs backed away in surprise, the plaintiff grabbed her clothes and shoes and ran out of the bedroom, holding her dress in front of her like a towel. She ran around the residence until she found the front and was able to leave. Although there were other guests still at the party, no one appeared to take a notice of plaintiff's distress or attempted to help her. Once outside, plaintiff put her clothes back on and left the scene in the dark. Okay, so she left naked. Okay, that's unusual. But maybe not. This is a Diddy party. Once outside, let's see, plaintiff attempted to retrace the route taken by the limo driver. She kept running until she reached a gas station she noticed on the way to the party. A female clerk noticed her distress and allowed her to use the phone. Plaintiff called her daddy, admitted that she had lied about her whereabouts, and asked him to pick her up. Her daddy arrived to pick her up shortly before dawn. After the incident, plaintiff fell into a deep depression, which continues to affect every facet of her life. She suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, a seizure disorder caused by the stress and trauma, and has had difficulty maintaining normal relationships and lives largely withdrawn through society. Let me tell you about how my daddy would have burnt that whole thing down. The whole thing down. The whole thing down. Also, remember what was interesting is when Dawn Richardson told her story and she spoke about her father coming to her rescue. Remember, her father actually went up inside of the place. Now, what I'm curious of, when Buzbee did a press conference, he talked about having a number of victims who had actually gone to hospitals and or done kits, different types of kits. I'm curious if this young lady may have been one of them, because as an attorney, I would not have included that in this complaint. That's something I would keep in my pocket and I would pull out for later, because that's one of you pull that out at mediation. You pull that out when you're ready to get the money on the table, when you're ready to have serious talks and negotiations. I hear you, Brandy. You're saying, let's not blame the victim. I think what happens is when we're looking at facts, though, there's a difference between blaming a victim and parsing out the facts that we feel like aren't making sense, or where there's openings where we're like, we need more facts to make it make sense. So I understand we don't want to blame victims, but at the same time, we have to leave room for people to feel like they can ask questions to get to a point where something makes sense. Yeah, she was a minor. And here's the thing about a minor. Remember, under the law, you don't have to know a minor is a minor in order for you to be in trouble for attacking one or assaulting one. Because under the law, as long as they're a minor, then if they're a minor, that's all that matters. Whether you knew it or not is irrelevant. And I'm sure that some of the argument would be, well, no one would have expected a 13-year-old to be at this party. Yeah, that's fine, but the law doesn't care. The law does not care. Yeah, we got to go through Sabra. It says, if you're sincerely suing someone, you call out everyone's name. You don't pick and choose which ones you can get money from. This is BS. So I have an issue about that too. So let's talk. So those are the main facts. So to recap, the fact was that her claim was that she basically snuck into this party, fell asleep in a room after being given a drink that she should have never been given, right? The drink was laced, and she was then taken advantage of by the two men. And then she escaped. Now, interestingly, they did not name the other two celebrities. As an attorney, I found that to be disingenuous. You sue everybody or you sue none of them, or you don't mention them at all as defendants. But the way in which they named Jay-Z as celebrity A and then allegedly J-Lo as celebrity B, that's what you do in a shakedown. I think the reason I call this is going to be a legal Super Bowl is because legally, Jay-Z is going to take this to the Texas bar. He's going to take this all the way up the chain that he can. And I would not be surprised if he does not try and get the FBI involved to investigate extortion on this side. Here's why. I'm gonna put it right here on your face. Here we go. This is the Jay-Z extortion lawsuit. All right. In this lawsuit, now remember, when Jay-Z initially filed this lawsuit, he filed it as John Doe anonymously. And when I went through this lawsuit, I said, well, y'all, and he filed it. What day was this? Oh, no, this is, he filed it the 18th of November. I said, well, y'all, we're going to find out who it is, because he done pissed off Buzbee. And I knew Buzbee was just going to amend the lawsuit to name him, shame him, and put it out there. And so he did. Let's check out this paragraph. In paragraph 2 of the intro, where Jay-Z outlines the issue. I'll do paragraph 1 and 2. It says John Doe is the victim of a scheme of Anthony Buzbee and his law firm, who are shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums from him, or else publicly file wildly false, horrific allegations against him. Defendants have threatened to unleash entirely fabricated and malicious allegations of assault, including multiple instances of assault of a minor, both male and female, against plaintiff if he refuses to comply with their demands. These baseless accusations are nothing more than a weapon in a calculated plot to destroy plaintiff's high-profile reputation for profit, despite the complete absence of any factual basis for such claims. Here's paragraph 2. It says this is not the first time defendants have been involved in an extortionate scheme to extract money from high-profile individuals while threatening baseless legal action. Just 3 years ago, the FBI opened an extortion investigation in connection with Tony Buzbee's clients' pursuit of football player Deshaun Watson for allegations of misconduct. According to Watson's then attorney, the FBI investigated whether one of Buzbee's claimants against Watson had committed extortion in a way that they were demanding money, or what they would do if they didn't pay up. Yep. So here's the thing. That's why, yep. It says, yep, Jay-Z has filed most of that within 2 hours. Yeah, Jay-Z's not playing. Jay-Z is going to pay for this man. I'm saying this. I was an intern for Jay-Z's lawyer. When I was in law school, actually, I had just graduated law school. I was an intern for Jay-Z's biggest lawyer. At the time, she was a graduate of Cornell Law, which is where I went to school. And baby, I learned so much. He goes for the jugular. And it's kind of like how my daddy taught me. So my daddy grew up in the projects, and he was like, look, when you fight, sometimes you got to kill the person the first time. Not kill him, but you got to hurt him real, real bad. That way, one person tells another person, don't mess with Simone. And that's how legally Jay-Z approaches his lawsuit. It says, isn't she lovely? Great question. Why is Jay-Z so furious if it's baseless? That was rhetorical. I think the issue is because in Jay-Z's situation, what happens is if he pays now, it's going to keep happening because these lawsuits are going to keep occurring. Also, with Buzbee, if Jay-Z was at multiple parties and Buzbee has multiple clients, we know he has 120 at least, he can tap him for this one and that one and this one and that one. So when it's baseless, the problem is it's baseless, but you still lose your endorsements. So you have to vigorously get ahead of it so that it's not assumed that you're guilty. So here, by Jay-Z filing the John Doe lawsuit first and calling it extortion, he will probably preserve most of his endorsements. Mark my words. Mark my words. And yeah, intentional with Leilum says, I'd be furious if it was baseless. That's when you are the most furious. And when you have daughters the same age, right? Girl, where have I been? Girl, I'm in Turkey. I just bought a new nose in Turkey. So I'm over here recovering, honey. If you scroll to the beginning, I break that down, what I was up to. But it says Jay-Z, this seems like Jay-Z may be in the superseding indictment. Cassie's federal case started with a civil suit. Now, I did review that. I have reviewed that, the initial indictment before. And I don't think Jay-Z or anything with respect to him is a part of that. Also, the feds are doing such an immaculate job with that I'm glad you mentioned this, Ari. Part of why my eyebrows are raised and I've got a big question mark regarding these claims is because based on some of the evidence that I've seen already that the feds have accumulated in their criminal case, I believe that if the feds found facts to support this claim, it would have been part of the indictment. But if you recall, the indictment doesn't mention minors. So that's why I know this incident is not part of it. This would have been the first one. I have seen where the feds went and found witnesses from 20 years ago who then signed sworn statements that I have personally read in Diddy's case. Because they are that much on top of this. And the other fact that I want to be clear here, y'all, when we're talking about extortion, the reason it's extortion only comes into play when they're baseless claims. When somebody knows good and well you didn't do this and or did not do a good faith investigation into whether or not these facts are true. And that's going to be pretty easy to prove, because if Jay-Z goes to the bar or, continues to pursue the extortion case, Tony Buzbee is going to have to show what he did to look into the claims that his client made before he said, I'm going to take this case. And my number one question and concern here, y'all, and I think we all have this, is why no criminal charges? And I want to say this, I never stopped the inquiry there, but we always want to know, okay, when you're talking about a minor and a crime that happened to a minor, tell me about how you went to the police and tell me about what happened to it. Now, as an attorney, I'm not putting that in this complaint that the woman filed, right? Because let's say you went and you told the police and nothing happened, or they said, we're not going to press charges. You don't put that into a complaint. But I'm saying that's one of the questions that I have that would help me decide whether or not I believe he's guilty. Oh, thank you, Brielle. Brielle corrected me. She said, count 2 on Pacer states as trafficking of children or by force, fraud, or coercion. Okay. In the facts, as the facts were outlined, I didn't think that they listed children. And because there's the or, I thought it was, it's my understanding that it's the S, trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. But let's keep that, we'll keep that in play. But I'll say this, with the criminal charges that have not been brought, I am very curious why Miss Anonymous, the Jane Doe in this situation, or whether she went to the police, because I know if my dad had came and rescued me from that, I would have done that, because most importantly, the statute of limitations has not expired. My reading of the New York State statute of limitations is that it is 28 years, and this happened in 2024. So she's got 8 more years to go. Yeah, she's 28 years. It's only been 20 years. She's got 8 more years. I would at least go and make a police report. Ah, okay. Tony says he has video and photos. Now that's interesting. Yeah, and videos and photos. Let's see. Jay-Z was with okay. I keep seeing the comments about Foxy. I'm gonna put this up. Glam Girl says Jay-Z was with Foxy Brown when she was underage, and we suspect the same with Aaliyah, Beyonce, and the mother of his child that he didn't claim. Now, how underage are we talking? The reason I say this is 19 and 16. I judge that differently than like 22 and 15. But I do hear you with, I think because Beyonce was like 19 when they publicly mentioned that. Oh, that's right. Foxy did deny that. But here, okay, so the fact that, as we know, and Jay-Z did make a statement. In Jay-Z's statement, the gist of it, and I'm going to read it. Hold on. The gist of his statement, here we go. I'll put it up. Okay. Ooh. The gist of his statement was that if this were true, why not criminal charges? Specifically, Jay-Z says, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a, air quotes, lawyer named Tony Buzbee. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? Y'all, these are Jay-Z's words. He says, these alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Buzbee, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I am more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at an age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profanity by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Ooh! Well, his suits are questionable. He said, my heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. God dog. You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I am not from your world. I am a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes of honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. Ooh. Yeah, Jay-Z and Diddy need to understand it will not be tried in the media. But what's tricky is the case won't be tried in the media, but their brand will be. So as a result, they got to stick up for themselves in the media. Thank you. Oh, so now he cares about children and families, but Puff and R. Kelly was your best friends. Ooh, how can you even associate with someone like him? Yo, this is a lot. When I tell you, so here's the other thing with Jay-Z and this lawsuit. The lawsuit against Buzbee himself is going to get so ugly. Mark my words, it's going to involve the bar, the Texas bar. He will be filing a bar complaint, I'm certain. And the reason it's going to get ugly is because at this point, Jay-Z is in effect speaking up on behalf of all of the celebrities that Buzbee is going against. Because, it's a bunch of them. Remember, there's one that it's rumored, people don't know if it's Justin Bieber or exactly who, but there's someone that's in this video that's supposed to be with Diddy, etc., where Diddy doesn't even know, or the young man doesn't even know that he's being videotaped. There's all these different people who in Hollywood are being hit up by the Buzbee law firm. And in the words of the celebrities, being shook down for money in order to settle. Yeah, it says Jay-Z will be made an example by this lawyer. Listen, if he's guilty, it will definitely come out. Nazar said his lawyer did not write this statement. But yeah, you have to come out strong like that to protect your brand, your partnerships. Remember, Jay-Z has an NFL partnership. This kind of allegation, if he didn't come out strong like that for anyone else, that partnership would be gone. It would be gone. The one thing, though, that I think is protecting him is that these allegations are so wild that it's gotten to the point that it's almost watered them down. So the main thing here that we're keeping track of is that, I want to post for you Buzbee's response. Oh, Buzbee. Oh, let's see. Hold on. So Buzbee posted this, claiming, it says, recognize this. guy, this is a picture of the weapons platoon commander. This is in response to Jay-Z's statement. This is Mr. Tony Buzbee. He said, recognize this guy? This is a picture of the weapons platoon commander. Alpha Company 1st Battalion, blah, blah, blah. Despite a coordinated and aggressive effort that has included harassing my kids, contacting my clients and former clients to encourage them to sue me, contacting my colleagues or former employees, asking if I've abused them, showing up at my current employees' homes to harass them, filing frivolous cases against me and my law firm, defaming me with outrageous assertions to anyone who will listen, and having mysterious people follow me and my family, I'm still that guy. I won't be bullied or intimidated. People will see through this effort to discredit me and my clients, and the truth will be revealed. I also won't allow anyone to scare my clients into silence. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, and I am quite certain the sun is coming. Oh, he got him. As he should have. Buzbee, that's called investigating. He got to, well, I felt that way too. So here's the thing. Buzbee, you done filed a lawsuit against this man and won't even tell him who's suing him. I'm sending everybody I know to find out more about you, especially if I'm bringing an extortion claim. I want to find out from prior. I need to talk to everybody that's ever worked for you. I need to find out, is this your modus operandi? Is this how you get money from people? You scare people without facts? Or do you have all of the facts and there's some dirt y'all have on me? I need to know that too. So, Trey Gaming Fish, thank you. I missed you guys. So, Love Moose says, y'all really think JG is a boss when it comes to this kind of allegation? He becomes a drug dealing, misogynist gangster rapper pretty quick. Ooh. Oh my. Well, listen, this was Buzbee's other response that I had to share. He says, regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my clients, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. I got to stop that right there. That is an implicit lie. There is no such thing as a demand letter that don't want money. What are we demanding? A handshake and a smile? A hug? Cuddles? No. A demand letter is a demand for monetary relief. And or it could be apology. It could be anything like that. But you don't have to say, I'm demanding $1 million. You sending a demand letter is a demand for monetary relief. Unless you specifically say you're coming for a hug. Let's not be foolish here. He says, what he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent a demand letter on behalf of an and didn't ask for a penny. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. Let me tell you something else. Mediations per side can cost $2,500 per side. You think each side is coming in there paying $2,500 to shake each other's hands, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya? No, I'm paying a mediator $2,500 for my side, and you're paying $2,500 on your side to give me some money, run me my coins. So I don't like when lawyers try to use nuances of words addressed to the public who may not have the same legal background and experience, thinking you're conning us out of the common sense understanding that we have. This is ridiculous. No, he said demand a meeting, but a mediation. Okay, so someone is saying he said demand a meeting. He sent a demand letter. A demand letter is demanding a mediation. And mediation is the same thing. In mediation, when you go to mediation with a demand. And what I'm telling you is mediations cost, that can be $5,000 a day or more. But there is no mediation in the universe of mediations where someone has not gone to mediation with the goal of leaving with money. So I'm just saying it's disingenuous to say we didn't ask for money. Asking for mediation is the same thing. He says, since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he's tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She's emboldened. I'm very proud of her resolve. As far as the allegations in the complaint filed, we will let the filing speak for itself and will litigate the facts in court, not in the media. Wait, Love Moose says if he doesn't know who the opponent is, he'll know in the next 12 hours. So here's the other thing. Interestingly, in other cases, I need to see y'all's opinion on this in the comments. So Buzbee has filed the majority of his complaints as anonymous. And in the cases where the judge has ruled, nope, they got to show their faces, a lot of them have not refiled. They've either dropped their cases or choose to not be filed. So what I'm saying is that's somewhat telling to me. Now, that doesn't mean it didn't happen to these people. But I also find it telling that despite being part of such a large group, that certain people still don't feel comfortable releasing their identity. That's very strange to me. All right, India says, hey, I think this could be a strategy of Buzbee. He predicted Jay would sue. Yep. And Buzbee is prepared with convincing evidence that would expose Jay, resulting in more money for him and his client. Ooh, that really could be a strategy. You can't be sued by an anonymous person. He just needs to file discovery. Yes. So to clarify, Jay-Z would not have to continue this entire litigation without knowing the identity. Jay-Z, if the person is allowed to proceed anonymously, Jay-Z would know the identity. We, the public and the media, would not. That would be the difference. Will he sue Jane Doe once she's revealed? I think that's unlikely because there is an immunity. There's a defamation immunity that applies to lawsuits. However, they might sue for something like malicious prosecution. That is possible. Buzbee says he has tapes. So here's why I'm skeptical of things like that. Because Buzbee, in one of Buzbee's lawsuits, he said he had proof, and his proof was a photo of one of the boys at a Diddy party. That doesn't mean that the things that you allege happened to you happened. That means you attended a party. We don't know if it was that specific party. There's a lot more to it. So if he got tapes, though, it is possible that when the feds collected tapes, that there could be tapes that were helpful. But it will also be interesting to know, are the tapes pertinent to this Jane Doe case, other clients, or something in between? You don't find that suspicious? Yep. Yeah, Buzbee says he has tapes of this incident. So I'm curious. We'll have to see if it could be the young lady at the party. We'll see. I won't say suspicious, but I'm curious and looking forward to see what that is, given that what he has defined as evidence before as relevant photos was like, there was a photo of the young man who was the victim. It was like a photo of him. It was either him and Diddy or him at a Diddy party, which it shows that they've been to a party, okay, but it doesn't necessarily prove some of the other factors. It makes no sense that these people finally had the strength to face their so-called perpetrators, but are not showing their faces. Yes. So here's the thing. So Buzbee he does a lot of class action style, or what we call multi-district litigation. So literally that's taking a bunch of plaintiffs who have 6-figure cases against the same defendant. You stack them tall and you go to that one and say, hey, we'll settle all these, give us $200,000 a pop. Even though the individual's injuries and what they went through are different, you're basically asking, you get enough people who claim the same injury against the same person, and you just say, give us this dollar amount and we'll go away. We'll all go away together. All 120 of us will all go away together. So that's effectively the strategy. Now, the question becomes, has he done his due diligence? As a lawyer, we have an obligation to ensure that we've investigated each and every case, and that these people are not just jumping on the bandwagon and repeating the same kinds of claims that other people have already repeated in the media. It says, if Jay-Z mediated out of this case, couldn't his name still show up in the Diddy portion of the case in discovery? It could, but if he mediated out, as in settled out, he would have no further liability. Ah, interesting. If you're asking for millions but share to show your face, something's up. So here's what's interesting. I had a client that was suing based on someone giving her an STD. Now, in that case, I wanted her to file as Jane Doe because a large portion of the money that we were seeking in recovery was due to the humiliation of having to live the rest of her life with that STD. So I give that as a specific example of when, yes, we were going for millions, but I felt like that's a unique situation where you should be private, because if your identity is all out there, it makes it difficult for me to argue to the jury how embarrassing this is, because you've then outed yourself. You see that? So I agree with you that in a traditional case, it may be better to be anonymous. But I also understand, like, if I were a plaintiff, I absolutely would want to remain anonymous because your life will never be the same. I'm sure Thalia Graves, one of Diddy's victims, is getting stalked, harassed, all of the things by, Diddy's investigation team, legal team, all of that. So if I were as a victim, I don't ever want anybody knowing my identity at all. Why would you want to show your face if you're a victim? Yeah, I wouldn't. He probably don't even remember what he did that long ago. That could be it too. Just because someone wants to remain anonymous doesn't mean they're guilty. No, I agree with that. Hey, I would want to be anonymous simply because I'm going against such a big dog. These people are going to tear you apart in this kind of situation. So this is my summary for tonight, guys. I'm not showing my face because I'm buying a new one, and it's still cooking. Over here in Turkey, I bought a new nose, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna close out with that clip just for those who joined us later. I'm gonna play the little clip of why I'm not showing my face, but I'm here for you, and I'm still gonna be giving y'all coverage. Here we are. Here we go. Wait. Wait. Hold on. Wait.
And we'll do that in about a month before she goes to Dubai. We'll do that in about a month.
Oh yeah, because baby, when I go to Dubai, I turn on that Bumble, I turn on that Hinge, baby, I'll be out there doing 2 a days. 2 a days, honey.
Don't bring sand to the
lunch,
beach.
lunch, dinner.
You're getting ready. You're getting ready for the NFL season. What
Pretty
is going
much. Oh yeah, then I shoot myself up real quick with that Zepic. I be looking so good, baby. Don't let me hit up Turkey and get 2 dimples and a new nose. It's over for you hoes.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I won't be showing my face for the next 2 weeks. I'll let you know how the new face reveal is coming. Currently today, I look like a cat. But yes, if everything works out, I will absolutely let you know about my doctor. They are so good to me. Y'all, I have to tell you here, when you get your nose done over here, they keep you in the hospital. They actually do it in a hospital. They kept me overnight. I had the cutest little, I had the hospital nurses, plus I have a cosmetic surgeon nurse that stayed with me overnight. He's so cute. He looks like a sexy little Pee Wee Herman. I know it's an antithesis, but that's exactly what he looks like. He's so much fun. I'll tell you more about that. No, I did not. Adoria, Milan, I didn't get the dimples. I thought that was going to be a little bit egregious. So, yeah, but I'm trying to get to Ghana for the new year. So maybe, if you guys have some cousins, brothers, uncles, ex-husbands that you want to take off your hands, let me know. Maybe I can go over to Ghana and, shake something for a sheik over there. Yeah, I was looking like a cat. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I love the support. Let me know down below what else you want me to talk about. I'm going to be back up here tomorrow. Look, I can't go nowhere. I'm stuck in this hotel room. I can't go nowhere. So we're going to cover more lawsuits, more cases. Bye. Miss y'all. Your legal bestie, Simone.